someone like Hope Uzodinma does not have any road to the corridors of power.
This is the Stereopsis.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's podcast on the Stereopsis. We all have seen what has happened, what INEC has done again. INEC is at it again, and then the last election that had just happened on Saturday in Imo, in Kogi State and in Bayelsa State has proven the citizenry right. You can never expect anything meaningful from INEC, be it as it may. INEC is just an average Nigerian institution that is programmed to fail, and failure it is. Chukwuma, you always look at the Nigerian election and then it's always a winner takes it all mentality. And those in the seat of power always comes out very victorious without opposition, using state funds.
I think nobody should be surprised. If you are surprised about the results, you must be a very naive person in Nigeria. If you're expecting Yaya Bello to lose election, or you're expecting Hope Uzodinma, these are very, very violent guys. They showed other governors hired them to go conduct election for them.
Yes,
so this is an APC machine. These two of them
Yep.
are very strong guys. And what happened in Kogi during last election, 2019, was something. A lot of people died.
I'm really surprised, Chukwuma, at what the results that came out from Kogi State.
Yeah.
You see, what's his name? If I die, I die. If we perish, we perish. You talk, you die. You don't talk, you die. And then he, with all his childish behaviors and tactics prior to the election, he even ended up challenging Nyesom Wike, the minister for FCT, towards his forthcoming what did he call it? Victory in the election, and then he failed woefully.
I think I wouldn't say the person failed woefully. He did his best, but if you had a fair playing ground for everybody, you would be able to actually measure their strengths. The guy in SDP did very, very well.
But would you have thought that his city boy mentality would have won him the election?
No, I thought he was popular from far, not from Kogi State.
How popular was he?
But few days to the election, a lot of guys who are on ground, I started seeing online hearing about the SDP guy who has been a stunt APC member for a long time. I think he just left APC to contest for this governorship election in another platform. That's the SDP. And 2 days to the election, I saw a lot of guys from Kogi saying that the guy will win the election. And
the SDP guy.
The SDP guy.
And he came out second.
Second. He performed very, very well.
Yeah.
He took some of the local government very high margin.
Do you not see it as a ploy on the side of Yaya Bello to reduce the influence of somebody like Dino Malay?
No, I don't think.
And then render all his city boy noise to nullity.
No, everything is possible, but I don't think Reno is that popular in Kogi State, because a lot of Kogi were like, this guy is not supposed to be the guy with the ticket, but he fought for it and he got a ticket.
I believe the PDP compensated him with the ticket for his failed exploit with Atiku Abubakar.
You could say that there's no evidence to that, but he actually fought for the primary election and he won. So, and I think Kogi, Natasha won in the tribunal. So, at least one of the senatorial zone being represented by the PDP. So, it shows that PDP has a strong support base from that side.
But if you look at the track record of someone like Yaya Bello, you can see that Yaya Bello, even with his beyond par performance in Kogi State, he still emerged victorious. And that goes a long way to tell you the situation of the Nigerian electoral system. It's not really about the people actually electing people, but it's about the cabal.
Yeah, it's about the cabal and the INEC. And I don't think any person could do anything, even if the whole opposition were one party.
Yes, of course.
Because from what the SDP guy was saying, I think Okene and one of that local had 90% turnout rate.
Yes.
Which you didn't even see in the presidential election.
Yes, of course.
So presidential election, we had Tinubu and Obi. Those are the two plus Atiku.
Yes, of course.
And the whole of their votes We're not even up to 500k.
The same happened in Imo State.
Yeah.
A state where you have Hope Uzodinma, and then a lot of people call him the opposite, Hopeless Hope. That is according to some people, though. Don't quote me. But you see him emerging victorious, even with all the gerrymandering, and then his below par performance too in Imo State.
Were you expecting anything?
A lot of people, even I personally, I call him the Supreme Court governor.
Yeah, but you don't expect anything from that. And nothing will happen to the court. Most people need to go to court. The SDP guy in Lagos says it's a waste of time going to court.
Yes.
So they've been declared winner. Like what happened in Enugu, even where it was very clear that there was overvoting.
Yeah.
The Labour guy has been losing. He probably losing Supreme Court. So why would they waste all those millions and possibly billions?
Now, do you now believe, or do you believe that the court is a part of a cabal, a set of like a kind of a cabal that is hell bent on making sure that the wishes and the visions and the dreams of an average Nigerian to have a better government is squashed and put to nullity?
I don't think it's a question of judiciary alone. The society is in trouble. Like all these political platforms don't even have ideology.
No.
So and the same thing with our society. Like every society, maybe the West or even this.
Yeah, they have people of opposing ideologies and the way the society should function.
Yeah, even the OB, this thing, the was from PDP, moved from APGA to PDP. These things are just the same. They're not looking for platform. So OB is a full capitalist in a labor movement. So these things, and he knows very well. He's been asked those questions. They all know it's just platform based in Nigeria or Africa. And again, it's the society.
Okay.
Our people, we don't really have a way. Is in all our systems. Like even the architectural concept in Nigeria, sometimes you can say British.
Everything is very generic.
Generic. You can say British house. You can say US house. You can say even the one looking like it's from Russia. Concept, like you see everything in Nigeria. Like if you go to the West, you see this is a US kind of.
Everything is divided.
Everything is divided. Okay. We don't have any kind of ideology how we live our life in Nigeria.
No, for instance, now when you come talk about building, everybody wants to build the paint house and every other thing. Yeah?
Yes. Where we don't have those kind of high wind in Nigeria.
Let's say Mr. Charles built something like this, so I'm taking that kind of design.
Yes, you see roofs that are even taller than the building. So, and that same thing, that is the same society where we're in. You don't blame the judiciary. These guys are not paid well. That's not an excuse for corruption. But sometimes the politicians want to win the election. Imagine a judicial officer having only 3 years to retire and somebody offers you 1 billion.
Does it mean, and I'll ask you this, and I need a concrete answer to this, does it mean, is it by force for an individual to serve the society when you've actually done what you feel is your best, and then you see your best is not in the interest of the people, and you still want to, force yourself on the people? Because most times you hear a lot of politicians saying something before, maybe prior to contesting in an election, and then they tell you, my people, after a series of consultation with my people, they said probably I'm the best candidate, or they say God told me. And now you've served. Let's take for instance Hope Uzodinma. Now Imo State has been probably at the worst state of its being since 1999 under Hope Uzodinma, and then he's found a way to actually force himself into the people. And then there are a lot of things hanging around him.
Not actually into, but on the people, because it's not. The guy has a helicopter he moves around with, whether he like it or not. He's the governor. So and then whether you like it or not, I'm your governor.
And then when you look at the Imo State and the problem of IPOB, you see that Hope Uzodinma and the whole IPOB guy, it seems they have a thing. And then Hope Uzodinma, as an individual, has always found a way to go around the subject of Nnamdi Kanu, and it's a problem. Because
he has always called for release also.
Yes.
He has also called for release. You see what's going on in Abia. I think what I was talking about ideology, like the democracy we are practicing, even our leaders don't even understand it. I think the architects of democracy sought to place a system where you are people
decides who is in power.
Power.
But in this case, as it is, a group of people or a cabal
Decide
forces their own candidate
on the people.
on the will of the people using the Supreme Court, because that's what happened in Imo State at the beginning.
Now you don't even need Supreme Court, using the INEC.
INEC is a party to this.
Yes.
If you talk about INEC, now you talk about thugs. I see.
State security services.
Chukuma, I most times I call our system a thug democracy, because this is a system where you see a lot of politicians uses thugs and all whatnot to, like you saw a set of guys that the EFCC arrested in Imo State, carrying over 10 million naira going to distribute to people.
They won't go anywhere.
You know,
they are sent by the organs at the top.
Yes, of course. We know that these people will not be charged. Neither will they be prosecuted in any way.
Somebody was assaulted on national TV. The
Labour Party, a returning officer for Labour Party,
was beaten to stupor and bundled out of the collection center. Nothing happened. Nobody has been arrested. Those guys beat him up and came back to the center. So,
so what do you think?
No, we are not going.
How do we go about it? Because this country is in trouble.
We're not going anywhere from here. It must be naive to expect anything to come out of Nigeria. This is a whole systemic failure, and I think is when we get it right. Like, look at what happened, how controversial the last election was.
All right,
you don't expect these guys who helped Tinubu to get into power
to be taken out of power just like that.
Tinubu has no right now, moral right, to advise who puts on the, but you know what they did?
Yes, of course.
He delivered some of the states for him. Or imagine Tinubu talking to Wike now. You should leave Fubara. He knows exactly how all these things happen. So he has lost those kind of moral ground to even be somebody that will try to do that kind of reform. You can't arrest INEC chairman now. You can't, even sacking him now is dangerous.
But I can tell you, should I tell you something if you might understand? I think the whole thing is a systemic corruption.
I think he has seen it from the top, because I've constantly said that if you go to the top, that is where
you've seen it all.
Yes, if you talk to those guys who are who have been corridors of power, you see how hopeless they are about this nation. We even have more hope in this country more than
those are the base.
They've seen things that will tell you categorically this country will not work. And that's why sometimes when you see the way they behave, just to go and cash out. Because sometimes I've argued even on Twitter and all those ones that Nigeria lacks that commonality. That's like a commonality that binds people together to live peacefully or to live prosperously.
Yes.
Like, historically, societies have been always organized around maybe shared history,
principle,
shared religion, things like history, shared religion, even language.
Chukuma, you can always, and I quote this, you can always remember the words of some of the founding fathers of Nigeria. They never envisaged this country as a singular entity.
It's only Zik.
I blame someone like Zik, because Zik was a self-centered person, and what he wanted was to build a large country, and then with himself as the president. Because the Sadwan of Sokoto, as at then, and even Awolowo and all the rest, they described Nigeria as a mere geographical expression.
Yeah.
And then Zik was propagating a one Nigeria, non-entity, stupid idea.
No, you wouldn't say that.
But that is what I believe in already.
These guys were actually exposed to the American democracy. And he has seen the importance of big nations and all those kind of things. And if Nigeria wanted to progress to get in the post,
you want a big nation.
A big nation.
Okay, now talk about look at Switzerland. Switzerland, how big is Switzerland? Switzerland is not even as big as the whole of the Southeast. And they have a functional system. And that is confederalism. And that was why when someone like Emeka Odimeji Ogwojuku wanted a solution that will make this country functional, he insisted on the return of not just regionalism, but an institution of confederal system, just like you have in Switzerland.
Okay.
Now the power. One thing you notice in a confederal system is that the politicking goes down to the regions.
Yes.
Do you understand me? And now what was it called? The whole Zik or whatever. And that is why you can never hear maybe the son of Zeke or the other one is so progressive here or there. You hear nothing about them, do you? Now, self-centeredness has got a price, and he's paying for it. His generations, they are paying for it. And then the Igbo people are suffering for it. You come down to even in the East, and then you now see people going sectional about politics. You talk about so person is an Mbise man, is an Ungwa man, is this and that. Is that the way forward? And now you come to elections. Elections are time for us to decide who is the best for us. And now you see that a set of cabal. It happens everywhere in the world, but it's even more predominant here in Nigeria. You see someone with no good social record, just probably because he has money. I have had a lot of rumor about Hope Uzodinma and his involvement with some schemes over time in the past. We've heard about the most prominent scams in Nigeria and all those things. And then you talk about it and his name is mentioned. And then you see our president who has a record of, presumably. Okay, because even the court have decided to squash it and then play an ignorant role on it. And then you see, would you wonder why someone like Hope Uzodinma will support Jagaban, even ahead of he has a right to support whosoever he wants to.
It's all man to his.
But everybody see, politics is a game of interest. Maybe a group of cabal, because maybe these are his cliques, and then they are trying to protect some hidden truth, which you know that if you just let it bear, there is a problem.
Okay, let's move away from that place. So now there is, I think, a call, or should I say, a lot of people are suggesting that the Nigerian citizens are docile. What should they do? What do you think about the role of the citizen in this kind of situation?
The role of the citizens, everybody's running. What's reigning in Nigeria now is Japanism. Everybody's leaving Nigeria. Maybe, I don't know for who. Maybe the newborn, or maybe the next generation of Nigerians. Everybody's running away. Why? Because even the police has been politicized. Nigerian police is one of the most corrupt police force in the world.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about it. You cannot hide it. The police are being used as political talks. The Nigerian police, they are being used as securities to even criminal elements in the society.
I don't think, like I've said, I don't think this is particular to any institution in Nigeria.
How
about our school system?
When forget about it. Yes. Now let me tell you. Listen, you take it after the other. That's why someone or some people will tell you that corruption in Nigeria is very systemic. Someone like Hope Uzodinma does not have any road to the corridors of power.